Hey, what's up, people? Tenor here. Tenor Talk, where we speak truth and from the heart. Listen, right away. I gotta let everybody know, and I probably will repeat this in a few minutes. I'll address this. My apologies in advance. I'm wearing a dirty shirt. Okay? I'll explain why. So don't get triggered and don't leave the live because I have a dirty shirt on. Right? Because you feel disrespected, probably, right? That I didn't put a three-piece suit on for you today for this live. Okay, I'll address this in a minute. Please don't go because you'll miss a powerful message. Okay, so hold on a second. So just to make sure we're live, let me put the chat on. I want to hear from somebody in the chat. If someone can, in the chat, in the Rumble chat, or in the YouTube chat, or the Facebook chat, if you could say 5x5 that you hear me. And in the meantime, what I'll do is I will put on a little snippet of my 3-song medley. For those of you just tuning in, I have 3 singles out to the world. A song that I wrote. Thank you for coming. That's America. And we have a version of Silent Night. And I'd like for you to hear just a little snippet of those 3 songs while I make sure that we're live. And here it is.
God knows we ain't perfect. Lord, how we try. And we live the way that we live for those brave souls that died. And they gave America their all to America. That's America. There's miles of roads before us as a new generation draws near. Visions, dreams, and understanding, all roads to a new frontier. That's America, the hope of America. That's America. That's America, the hope of America. That's America.
All right, guys. I'm told that all kinds of chaos is going on. Two videos are playing. I don't know what happened, but anyway, let's jump into it. Um, I've got three singles out, and there you can get them at tennertalk.com if you're interested. But more importantly, we are talking about the Healing the World tour. We did a video yesterday. If you're tuning in today, this is part two. And let me bring in my co-host, Divinely Diane. What's up, lady? Can I hear you? Do you have noise? I can't
Can
hear
you hear
you.
me? Can
I
you hear
can
me
hear you
now?
now. I can hear you
That's good.
now, Verizon. I can hear you now. Um, so we did a video yesterday, part one, and I know people will have a hard time tuning out of this live, but you should watch part one, and it's in the description box under the YouTube and the Rumble video. Or just hang out with us today. We're not going to get into crazy detail, and we'll keep this short so you can immediately, after you finish watching this, click the link in the description box for part one because we had a pretty impactful thing last night. So, like I was mentioning, is I wanted to address something. Please don't leave for you. For me, it doesn't matter because I love you and I'm on my journey and everything is amazing because I tapped into my power and it's all good. So, if you get triggered, try something different. Instead of getting triggered and reacting and judging someone and all of those emotions that you go through and then you tune out, that's the distractions that the evil and the entities created for you, and you're judging people by their clothes and their language and all of these things. So I mean, this might be hard to understand, and I love you, and this is the only reason I'm telling you this, and this isn't going to change me because I'm already doing the work. You're getting triggered by things and your emotions are being used against you. So you're putting all of these judgment and these ugly things because of people's looks, what they're wearing, what they're saying, and you're not hearing the most important thing, the message of the person. See, my dirty cut off shirt doesn't make me a bad person. It makes me an incredible person just wearing a piece of clothing. That's all it is. So I listen to what people say and I judge them for their heart. So let me tell you about Divinely Diane and Tenor, what they're doing. And this isn't ego, this is to help you. So don't miss the message, okay? We are driving around in RVs. It's not like uh, KOA rewards in hot tubs and checking out scenery, even though we're seeing scenery when we're driving. But the divine has sent me out on a mission to do my small part. And my life is kind of, I don't want to say it's on hold, but I say these things to make people understand the level of what's going on. So if we're going to be judged, Diane looks lovely, but I'm wearing a coat off shirt, and I wear a lot of coat off shirts, okay? And I'm not worried about what I look like. I never worried about what I wore. I actually went out of my way my entire life to not be I don't like rules and laws. I don't like if I can't go into a restaurant. If I have a clean shirt on but it's sleeveless, we're not allowed into the restaurant, right? These are these rules and these laws. And like I can't I might have more money at the time than the person that's wearing the tie, but yet I can't go into an establishment to have a fine meal, and I have more money than at times I had more money than people in the restaurant. But see how we've been indoctrinated into just judgment and rules and signs everywhere, are signs breaking. You know what I mean? Like so we've it's all distractions is what I'm trying to say to you. So I hope that you're not triggered by my dirty shirt and you can hear the message because I'm driving around in my RV and I left with just enough money to get to Michigan and Ohio. We had a couple of donations come in to get us some gas money. Now we're in Benton, Arkansas. I have no girlfriend. I have no wife. I haven't had one for a couple of years. My life is focused on this mission and me participating in changing the world because I got the memo. I was caught up just like everyone else. I was waiting around and I was getting caught up in that controlled opposition of the truthers that are still have you on marathon chats and they're not talking about anything that we're talking about today. You need to find out why they are not talking about what we're talking about today, which is you. Then. I think when Jesus was flipping tables, he was very passionate. I don't think he apologized to everyone beforehand and said, "Hello, everyone, I'm Jesus, and I'm about to flip tables because I'm really fucking pissed off." Oh, I said fucking. You're triggered. You want to tune out because you've been indoctrinated of the distraction. So Jesus probably said, "Hey, motherfuckers, I'm flipping tables today. And I don't give a shit what I say and what I do because I want you to understand I'm passionate. So please, you get past that. Don't worry about what I'm wearing. You might see a homeless person tomorrow that might have been a billionaire and they had a situation happen and they're in a struggle and they're talking. You see them speaking in the subways of New York City and you walk right by them because they're wearing dirty clothes and they may have pissed in their pants, but they're giving you a message. These people have been giving us messages. I overlooked them also. And I said, all right, they have a mental condition, but I just, God bless them. I say a prayer for them. I hope everything's going to be okay. And I missed a lot of messages over the years because I did a lot of judging.
Right.
And I couldn't hear the message that the people were saying. We missed a lot of profound messages from a lot of profound people. I'm not saying I'm profound. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. And I don't care how long I have to drive around and figure out to the next place I'm getting to because the 1,000 years of peace and the golden age, we're ushering it in. All of us. Where we go one, we go all. That's what that means, everybody. Divinely Diane, I know you got something to say.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just sitting and thinking how conditioned we really are. We're we do miss the message for what distracts us, and that doesn't matter if it is out in the world or if it's right in front of us, somebody that we're looking at that might not be dressed the way that we think they should be dressed to deliver a particular message. So, and I know, like you, Tenor, right now, I when I'm moving my trailer, when I'm driving, when I'm doing these things, I am not dressed up. I am dressed down. And we were saying that, what we really need to do is we need to show up in burlap sacks and see who's capable of hearing the message. This has been the problem all along. So I don't know what else to add. It's been a profound last 24 hours for me. Actually, the whole trip. And what we're going to do.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on. I'm on Diane's Starlink. I hope you can hear me. I have to put this video on just to make sure that I can still hear myself. Bear with us. Technical difficulties. Somebody doesn't want this message to get out. Let's see. Can you hear me? Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know what's going on. I'm on. It looks like I'm still going. Diane jumped out. I don't know where she is. Let's see where she is. Is she there?
There we go.
Hey. Okay. So so we're doing that. So I wanted to play. We're going to keep this short today, guys, because I want you to watch part one because it was very, very pivotal. So just want to touch on a few things today. And then the most important thing, I think, is mark your calendars, and the instructions to get set up for Dallas is in part one. So please watch part one. There's two very simple things of homework for you so you can get prepared to change your life. And we can all come together and help bring in the world that we want to bring in because it's us. We are the plan. We're who we're waiting for. Stop listening to the controlled opposition. Ask your truther friends that have platforms why they're not talking about this. This should be the most important thing that everyone's talking about, even just a little bit, even just a little segment of their show. It's two reasons. They don't know about it, which you should tell them about it and tell them to invite Tenor on. They have every Tom, Dick, and Harry on their shows talking about all kinds of horseshit. Why would they not want to talk about this amazing stuff? They don't know about it. Or they're the enemy and they're keeping you distracted because they don't want you to hear this message because they don't want you to know how powerful you are. Does that make sense? Do you think there's people out there, you've heard about this, you're in this movement, there's people out there that are keeping you distracted? They're leading you astray, away from yourself, away from yourself. Here's Greg Braden telling you how powerful you are. Let me see if I can find that video. Where is it? Is it over here? Where in the heck is it? I think it's right over here.
Not see all of this chaos in the world around you distracting you from yourself if there wasn't something within you that was so valuable it warrants that level of distraction. I want you to think about that. And I know it's a very different way of thinking for some people, and for others, it's right up your alley of what you've always felt. Maybe you've never heard it verbalized. It's important that we verbalize this because in the next 4.5 years, we will be coerced, we will be mandated, we will be invited, we will be indoctrinated to accept new technologies, not just in the world, but into our bodies. I want to talk to you about this in future episodes. There's a reason for that, and it all falls under the broad umbrella of the ancient struggle between light and dark, good and evil. The goal of the struggle, remember, is to deny you your divinity. Not see all of this chaos and be coerced. We will be mandated. We will be invited. We will be indoctrinated to accept new technologies, not just in the world, but into our bodies. I want to talk to you about this in future episodes. There's a reason for that, and it all falls under the broad umbrella of the ancient struggle between light and dark, good and evil. The goal of the struggle, remember, is to deny you your divinity.
Did you hear that, guys? There's a lot of distractions going on out there, okay? Just want you to understand how powerful we all are. And that's what we're learning about now. The time is now, okay? Greg Braden, Joe Dispenza, Bruce Lipton, a lot of these people have dedicated decades of their lives. So the divine just has us taking decades of work and simplifying this down to the simplest thing, which is the language of the emotions, getting triggered over things like wardrobe, and then you're watching shows, you're watching war, you're listening to the news, you're still caught up in who's getting confirmed, what the judges are doing with Trump. That plays out there. I think it's a test at this point to see who's going to just stay wrapped up in that stuff instead of going inside. I actually believe it's a test right now. And if you're just wrapped up in Telegram marathons and truthers that are talking about when the RV's coming and when your money's coming and when the med beds are coming and all of this stuff, when we're healing ourselves, there's people that have healed in Michigan and Ohio. And I believe we did an event. I know we did an event yesterday, but I believe we're going to hear stories possibly today and tomorrow about some healing that happened with the folks. And it's not us. We're just sharing the message that Jesus was sharing, right? We're not Jesus. He's inside. The divinity is inside. We're doing what Jesus is doing. Jesus wants us to spread the message. He wants you to spread the message. He wants you to get the message. He wants you to do greater things than he did. That's what he was talking about. It's all been manipulated. No more. The time is now, and we're talking about what Jesus was talking about. This is factual. Let me play something for you.
I
Unless
do
you
have
have
something to
something, I'm
say
going to
real
play
quick.
the video.
First of all, let me apologize. My mirroring was on my video, so I'm looking. If you see me in this video looking all these different directions, I'm not looking at myself. Neither am I just spacing out. I'm trying to figure out this camera. But I really wanted to mention something that as we are doing this creation in the moment, it is how we create. But there is the most important thing, and it is love. And love as an emotion is gratitude. And every moment we are healing. It isn't just physical, it is mental, emotional, and spiritual. And we have to be aware that even after we've been to an event like this, and we've faced ourselves and faced the idea of how simple it is to change, we continue to have things happen that that unfold. So I really want to say that love is so important. And maybe tomorrow we'll talk about love and grace and some things that maybe we never thought of before. So, as Tenor says, keep love in your heart. We have to have this love. It's such a key ingredient.
Jesus was a mystic. He never talked about going to church. He didn't say read a Bible. Show me where he said read a Bible. Show me where he said to go to church. He never said go to church. He never said read a Bible. In fact, he was so enamored by these great churches, he walked down and he said there's going to be one brick left laying on top of another one. He said, forget that. What was he concerned about? You, inside of you. He didn't point to some far-off God who was going to come down and save you. He said, you are the light of the kingdom of God is in you. He didn't set himself up and say, look at me, I'm Jesus, and I hotsy-totsy stuff on my Christmas cards and everything. Look at me, ain't I something? He didn't ever said that. You know what he said? You think I'm doing good stuff? I'll tell you something, Omer. The things I do, you can do too. You can do better than I do, Joey. That's the kind of guy he was. Never drew attention to himself, drew attention to you. He never came to show his divinity, he came to show your divinity. And he told you how to reach it, how to make it explode. It's within you. Raise yourself up to the upper room. Practice the single eye. And you'll fill with light and wisdom and power and understanding. That's the
That's the kind of guy he was. He came to tell you about you. Everyone says the words, but is it actually making sense for the first time? What did he mean when he said, you will do greater things than I? What do you think? That's Bambi. We'll talk about her in a second. She came from the divine field. I created her with the language. I know, honey. Come over here. Let me talk to you. So he said you're going to do greater things than I. What was that? What was that? Build like a really nice house, or like what are you going to do greater than Jesus? He was telling you about you, right? Doesn't that make sense? Like greater things, yeah. Heal yourself, right? The woman said Jesus healed her, right? She touched his garment, and I think even in the Bible, I think it even said that Jesus said, "I didn't heal you." I mean, not verbatim, right? But Jesus said, I didn't heal you, woman. You did it yourself, right? He told people to stand up. You can see. Just tell yourself that. So see, they left the language out of the scriptures, and we shared that yesterday. I want to just repeat the beginning of this short video. I think it has to be in here. And you guys when you watch this, you're hopefully going to make time to go watch part 1, because it was very deep, and this will all come into play, and then maybe you'll watch this again. But let's watch the beginning of this video, because it's so important. It's the language, it's you, it's what we can do when we come together and we understand the language that was taken out of the scriptures, the proper way to tap into your divinity, which is love, which is 5D. 5D is within, the temple is within. Clean the temple, start speaking the language, right? Here we go.
So any discussion regarding this feeling-based prayer, this lost mode of prayer, sometimes seems a little more than academic until we can actually apply it in our lives or see it applied in our lives. It's in the late 1990s that I had the opportunity to do precisely that, when I saw the footage documenting the healing of a life-threatening condition within the body of a living woman using precisely the kinds of techniques that we're speaking about right now. For me, it was this kind of information that took this lost modality of prayer out of the realm of academics and into something that's very real that we can apply in our lives. I had the opportunity during that time to see some video footage of the healing of a 3-inch diameter bladder cancer inside the body of a woman who, by Western medical standards, had been diagnosed inoperable. She had gone, as a last resort, to a medicineless hospital in Beijing, China. It was in this medicineless hospital where they began simply by addressing the life-affirming ways that she could change how she was living her life. They taught her life-affirming ways to breathe and life-affirming ways to nourish her body, gentle movements to stimulate the energy centers in her body. And as she was doing these and strengthening her body, at one point it made sense to undergo a process. Now I'd like to share this. I'd like to describe it to you as a very potent example of how the feeling world inside of our bodies has a direct effect, in this case a very graphic effect, on the world beyond our bodies. So in the video documentation, the film shows a woman lying on in a hospital room She's fully awake, she's fully conscious, she believes in the process that's about to happen. Before her, there is an ultrasound technician who is running an ultrasound wand over her lower abdomen that we can see on a split screen television. And on the left-hand side of the screen, they do a snapshot, a freeze frame of an instant in time for reference, so we can see what her condition looked like in that instant in time. On the right-hand side of the screen, we are able to watch real time as 3 practitioners stand behind her, working with the energy in her body and with the feelings in their bodies. And what they do is they begin to chant a word that to them they've agreed upon, that reinforces the feeling within them that she's already healed. The chant essentially says already healed, already done. And as they begin to have this feeling and to say these words among themselves, on the computer screen, on the television screen, we can watch in real time this cancerous tumor as it disappears in less than 3 minutes real time. It's not like time lapse on a documentary where you see a rose unfold in 30 seconds in something that normally takes days. This literally happens in less than 3 minutes. Her body responded to the feelings of the practitioners who were trained to have the kinds of feelings that they were having. And all they were feeling was the feeling of what it feels like to be in the presence of a woman who is already healed, fully enabled, fully capacitated. They were not seeing her as a woman who was sick, and they weren't saying, bad cancer, you've got to go away. It's a very, very different way of thinking about things, and it's a very graphic example.
So we played that full video last night. He goes on to talk about how, we're putting that out into the world. He was part of 100,000 people, through the World Wide Web. They decided on a specific time and a specific thing that they were going to speak about through the language, through their emotions. They all agreed upon it. They were going to see this thing as if it was done. And I believe it was this war at the time. And I remember when that, way back when that happened, and they agreed upon it, and they actually stopped a war. That's what we do. That's how powerful we are. So just to tie this in, they came together, 100,000 people through the internet at the web. They agreed upon a time. Some people weren't on the web. They just, at the same time, they all knew their time zones. So at the same time, powerful creators came together with our power within, and they put their emotion and the language out, and they spoke to the field, the divine, the divine, which is inside us, that language and the emotion that was kept from us. And we explain how to do that in yesterday's video. You have to watch part 1. It's under there, part 1 in the link. And they came together and they stopped a war for a day or two. They literally, we have that power. So they changed speaking this language and coming together with powerful creators. Where we go one, we go all. We were able to stop a war. So again, do you think if your emotions are ugly, and not by your fault, our emotions created the psych ward that we're living in? Congratulations, everyone. You, I, Divinely Diane, everyone, we created the psych ward we're living in. We didn't know because they kept it from us. They sprayed us. They poisoned us. They gave us fear, war, everything, porn, everything, all of these things. And we're fighting and we're divided and we have division and we have all different religions and races, and they've separated us, and all of this lives inside of us, and we've been thinking about these things over millennia instead of beautiful things. And because your thoughts are powerful, your emotions and your thoughts created the psych ward that we're living in. The best news of the day is, now that you know that, and if you don't, you will, if you keep following the Healing the World Tour and people like Greg Braden, because that's all I listen to. I do not turn on the news, Telegram. I just keep my eyes on some stuff as an observer, because it's a comedy to me now. It's a comedy, and it's sad because I laugh at it because I'm an observer, and I'm like, but then I get sad because I know people are still caught up in it. They wake up, the first thing they do is grab that phone, and they're like, What did Trump say today? What did this, that? When am I getting saved? Who's going to tell me? When's the reevaluation coming? When is my dinar going to, right? 5 years? I don't know how many more years people are going to get caught up in this stuff. It should be clear that they're just dragging you along, distracting you, keeping you from yourself. If you want abundance, if you want dinar, if you want med beds, do it yourself. See it as if it's already done. This is what we're talking about. This is the language that you have to create everything. I have a dog. I have music back in my life. I manifested a Healing the World tour. It doesn't matter if it's 12 people, 5. Let him know how it starts.
And I want to just say that, one of the things that we at the beginning is you should join us to be the healed and the healer. And I just want to say that I am having a little difficulty today. I've had and I'm not sad. I want you to know that gratitude isn't a sad thing, but when we're healed, some things work on us so deeply. So I do want you to understand the importance, just the absolute importance of love and grace in our lives. And tomorrow we'll be more prepared. I'll be more prepared to talk about it. So I'm very grateful that you're following us, that those of us who have been on this journey together, we are experiencing this together. And I and Tenor are a part of the healing and being the healed.
That was beautiful, Don. You broke up. I actually put it actually broke up when you said you're having a difficult time, and you were talking about, what you experienced like through the night into today, and it got cut out. But we're going to be talking more about it, and I think you're frozen now, and hopefully people can hear this. But anyway, it seems like we're cutting out. Most important thing, I think, and it's in part one. We have the dates for Dallas. It's 4/26. Ironically, the Mystery Machine was created on 4/26. Was brought to my attention by Yaya and Dean and Pandora, and it's pretty interesting. So we're going to be in Dallas. We're going to be in American Legion. Hopefully by tomorrow we'll have the address on there. But it's right in Dallas. It's a veterans, an American Legion post, a Legion, American Legion, and we'll have that updated. And you should watch part one because we get into detail, and we will be live streaming. And I gave 2 simple things that could help you start to tap into this energy. It's 2 simple things. I'm not going to repeat it. You should go watch part one, and then you'll be prepared. And we're going to stream live. So if you can't make it to Dallas, if you can't make it to Florida, we're going to be in Florida, I believe, the weekend after. That's it. Just to Florida, and where Diane's having technical difficulties. I don't know if she'll come back in, but we hope to do another show in between here and there, but we will be streaming live. I'm putting it out there. I don't know how I'm going to pull this off, but we're actually going to do what we've been doing, what we did in Michigan, what we did in Ohio, what we did yesterday, run through this whole process when we come together. And if you want to join, like I said, you can join from anywhere. It will be live, and you can join with us. And it's April 26th. I would mark your calendar off. I think this, unless you're going to your kid's graduation or something like that, or you have a surgery, you are going to want to be a part of that on April 26th. It should be 2 to 5, probably get done quicker, but you're going to want to go to healingtheworldtour.com, and you'll get on the mailing list, and just make sure you're subscribed. The Tenor Talk link is there. Make sure you're subscribed to my YouTube and my Rumble, so you could see when we're putting messages. If you're on Telegram, all of my social media is on tenortalk.com, and you can get there through healingtheworldtour.com. Again, it's great. We got a couple donations that got us out on the road, but I just I decided before I started the show, these are like $10 and $8 a piece. These are my 3 singles. I did a version of Silent Night. That's American. You could watch these for free, everybody, at tenortalk.com. The music videos are there. You might see yourself in this music video of That's America. I this music video I put together with all of the footage from my cell phone over the years of going to Trump rallies and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. You can watch these all for free. And thank you for coming. The song I wrote, which is actually the blueprint of what we're talking about the divinity inside. That's how powerful God is. I went and tapped into my power and I wrote this song. I think everything's backwards here. But anyway, I'm going to do a 3-pack. So you guys don't even have to donate. You can buy CDs. I'm going to do it because it's not set up on the Shopify, and I don't have time to do that right now. So I'm going to give you a 3-pack of CDs for $20 if you want them, but you have to email me at tennerstribe@gmail.com, and then I'll get your address and we'll figure out how to do that. So $20 plus the shipping. I think the shipping might be $4. So for $20, you can help us get some gas money. I will send you 3 CDs, and I might throw a Jesus and Justice for All sticker in there, and a thank you for coming sticker, and not that I think I'm important, but I'll sign it and I'll tell you how much I love you if you guys want to do that. So email me if you want a 3-pack CD, the 3-pack of CDs for $20 plus tax, and we'll figure it out for email. Okay. And I love you guys. Thanks for the support. Please go watch part 1 because it puts everything that we spoke about into perspective. And mark your calendars right now for April 26th so you can come together with all of these powerful creators that are getting the message. Because I believe everyone that we stopped with in Michigan, Ohio, yesterday, everyone we're meeting with and speaking with will be live. So you'll be connected. It's the Christ consciousness. That's the second coming of Christ. It's us. It's us tapping into our power. That's what Jesus was telling you. So I want to keep this short. I love you guys. Go to healingtheworldtour.com. We'll have it updated by tomorrow. You can get tickets to Dallas if you're coming. You can donate there. Things like that. And we love you. And please stay tuned. Please subscribe to the social media so you don't miss anything. Because once you start to get this, hopefully you'll start to share the little clips and stuff that Diane and I are putting out, which is all about this. So I'm on the road with Diane. She hasn't come back in. She's having problems. She loves you all. And we'll see you again. And just make sure you're connected with us so you could share these things, because we're just out on the road. I don't know if it's for the next few weeks, the next few months. I don't know how long. I'm not interested in anything other than ushering in the golden age, and it's us. And I hope everyone's starting to get the memo, and I hope you start to pay attention and you tap into what we're talking about today, and you start to change your life. I love you guys. We're keeping it short. Please go watch part 1. It's in the description box here. And if you're watching this on Facebook and you don't have the description box, go to healingtheworldtour.com, click on Tenor Talk, and right on the homepage are my music videos you could watch for free. And you can also subscribe. All of my social links are there. I suggest you at least subscribe to the Rumble and the YouTube so you can get notified when we're putting the videos out. And what the heck, subscribe to all of the social media so you see all the clips, short clips to share, because this is the memo. We need to bring everybody on board with this, and that's the story. I love you guys. We're going to a little barbecue thing today at the Household of Faith with Pastor Bob and the family we've been hanging out with for a few days, and then we're going to attend Easter Sunday tomorrow. And if you're going to go, I'd get there at least an hour early, because it's going to be crazy tomorrow. We love you all. Make sure you go to healingtheworldtour.com. We'll see you guys later. Thank you for all of your support. Have an incredible, incredible Saturday.